And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Y'all are going to NBA
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
NBA.
Yeah, I actually
How
remember
about
this.
those Cleveland Cavaliers?
All right, so the end of civilization is happening. The worst thing, Zach, that could happen to Charlotte sports since Cam Newton was named MVP happened. We've done it 2 years in a row. LaMelo Ball was put on as a reserve for the All-Stars. I want anybody to go into the Google history, the NBA history, and find me the second leading scorer of the 9 seed making an All-Star team. I'd love to see it. I want to see it one time in the history of the league has a second leading scorer on the 9 seed made an All-Star team. Now, I did some research, of course, like I always do my fun numbers research. So, Tom, since you remember about 2 weeks ago, we talked about when we named that he probably wouldn't be a reserve, or that they were going to name reserves. So when we named the starters, that he was on the reserve list. So I took the liberty of making some notes on this, and I need to look in that was between the 2 games. So that is correct. All right, since he didn't make the All-Star starter, Zach. Remember, and everybody they were talking about, well, should he make the All-Star team? Should he be? Who's the snubs? They were talking snubs. Well, Miles Bridges was in the conversation. Well, you couldn't have the conversation that LaMelo's in it when Miles is the leading scorer. So since that time that they named the starters, when they had a chance to score to see who would be the All-Star, the point guard for the Charlotte Hornets in 5 games, which was a 5-game losing streak, now 6 games, and then they broke it last night. They had a 6-game losing streak. During those 5 games from when he was named not a starter to named a reserve, he shot 110 times. 22 shots a game, Tom, from the point guard. Michael Jordan averaged 23. So from the time he was not named on the All-Star team to a possible reserve, the point guard took 110 shots. You know how many the leading scorer took? 76. LaMelo iced out Miles Bridges for 6 straight games. They lost 6 straight games, so he could score more than him. They're now Miles is still ahead of him by 1,000th of a point, but they're tied 19.9 essentially. And as soon as he got tied with 19.9, they named him that day. You cannot tell me that this was set up, that they iced Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges should be mad. They lost 6 games in a row doing this. 6 games in a row while he sat there and jacked up shot after shot after shot so he could get close to Miles Bridges. I think one game Miles had 4 shots at halftime, with like 9. It was so bad. It was just so bad. And then he gets named the reserve. And then, of course, as far as the other snubs we talked about them, Jaylen Brown not making it, I guess. Is he the one that didn't for Boston? One of them didn't, and then they got the 9th seed second leading scorer.
Wiggins is a starter. That's just unbelievable to me. He averages 15 a game.
It's a Chinese conspiracy.
Wiggins being a starter and Draymond on that team. It's gotten to the point, with the Hall of Fame and all this, it doesn't matter. None of it matters anymore. It used to, but now it don't. Like Tom, you're 100% right on this one. They're trying to sell tickets on this. They're going to sell.
It's like the NASCAR thing. It's a fake game.
They're going to sell 1 million. You're right. It's a fake game. It's an All-Star game. But they're going to sell 1 million tickets or 1 million LaMelo shirts than they would Miles Bridges shirts. That's 100% correct. But Miles Bridges should be pissed. He should be very pissed.
I know this is a little bit different, but I'm looking at the spit standings. You're right. The Hornets at 9, the Nets at 8, losers of 10 straight.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Hornets 3 out of the last 10 they won or lost 7 out of the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
They took a nosedive.
I told you
the Nets took a nosedive and
so 2 of those games, Tom, you were at one of them. LaMelo got benched in the 4th.
Yeah.
The very next game, he didn't even play the 4th. He had shot so many shots than the rest of the team. He didn't even play. He benched him in the 4th, and he still took the most shots.
It wasn't Bridges that lit us up, though. It was actually Oubre
that lit
us up. for 3 in there, and then they had this weird calls in that game. They admitted that was wrong when they gave. I think it was Bridges got to 3 or Rozier got to 3 and the technical foul because they basically the ball went out of bounds. Then they threw it to him. Then the bench came up playing around, didn't let him take the 3. So that was a 4-point swing late in that game. It was a little weird.
The Hornets are now 4-11 when LaMelo leads the team in scoring.
Yeah, but Borrego's an idiot. I mean,
Hunter just tried to call him out on that, didn't he? He got Borrego pissed at him. Said, "Who are you?"
It's just.
But we thought so. I don't know. I don't like his rotations. I don't like his matchups.
When I watched the Philly game, and he's got, P.J. Washington on Embiid, and lets Philly clear out the lane.
And don't send the double.
Don't send the double, and he dunked on him and got fouled. And I was like, what?
And Embiid's
this guy's an idiot.
He's a huge guy anyway.
Now, in all defense of him, if you breathe on Embiid, it's a foul. But I'm still going to say, okay, I'm going to take my chances. I'm putting 2 on you. And if you go to the line, you go to the line. I'm not letting you get in an and 1 by putting PJ Washington and then clearing out the lane. And you saw what happens. I was like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Boom. Dunk. I was like, what? That's just terrible. I just terrible.
So,
terrible.
I guess LaMelo is finished and done with. There's no more awards that he can win, and this is his last award he's going to win.
He'll be out to L.A. in a couple years.
Right. He got his Rookie of the Year. They made him an All-Star his second year. Okay, let's crown him now. He's not going to win anything in Charlotte ever, and you can forget about it. And it's just that last year Anthony Edwards should be pissed. He got his Rookie of the Year robbed. Outscored him by 3 points a game. Robbed. Miles Bridges on his own team, outscoring him. And he's the All-Star. If I'm on any basketball team and you're putting the guy next that's behind me and scoring on the All-Star team, we're having a talk. We're having a fight. We're having something. He should be mad. But with all that said, trades. Hornets trade. We need a 7-footer, Tom. We need somebody in the middle. See who we traded for? 6'7" Montrezl Harrell.
What'd they trade for? What'd they give for him?
P.J. Washington.
Oh,
I did not see that.
I did not see that either.
Now
that must have been right at the deadline.
Bol went to the Magic for Beans.
Right. He's going to be.
Did.
So Enos Freedom got sent to Houston. They released him, so they kicked him out of the NBA basically for saying free Hong Kong. We just probably got kicked off YouTube for that. Montrezl Harrell traded to Charlotte. So whatever.
Well, the Cavs making the trade for LeVert. He played. I think he had 22 last night against his old team, the Pacers. And I think it's a good trade because for Cleveland, you didn't give any of your nucleus. You didn't have to give up anybody who's playing. Rubio went in the deal. They gave some picks to. But Rubio's not playing. He's out with the knee injury. He won't play again. So pretty awesome to keep your core together and add a guy.
Good score.
We didn't even give up PJ.
And LeVert. And LeVert is not a hey, everybody look at me, everybody look at me. He's kind of quietly just a really good player.
That team.
So I think he's a lunch pail guy. He's not a LaMelo Ball, hey, look at my Instagram followers. I mean, he's a very different type player. So I think that helps. And now Kevin says they're out in the first round. I disagree. I think they'll at least win a series. They're second. They're second in the Eastern Conference right now. Jared Allen is just playing phenomenal. How did the Nets let this guy get away?
So,
I mean, he's really
let me ask
great.
you something.
They're going to wind up playing the Nets.
That's what I was about to say, Tommy.
That would be the only thing I think
I'm
they
going to win our first round matchup.
That's why if they don't win a first round matchup, they might play the Nets.
Mr. Vaccine, Mr. Vaccine controversy is really helping out.
You keep that.
He's helping out everybody else. So we appreciate it. Don't get your vaccine.
Remember,
keep screwing up the whole organization.
Look at their record at home. Brooklyn, I don't have it on the screen. I'll pull it up for you. Brooklyn at home, guys, has a losing record without Kyrie being there at home.
Well, if that's the deal, you gotta trade him. I mean, if he's the rule's the rule. You got to trade him. He can't be there. I mean, it's just you can't do this to your franchise. They're 0 for their last 10. He's submarining the whole season.
So
KD should have went to the Knicks in the first place.
All right. So did you see LeBron yesterday and Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see him laughing?
Colin
with Barkley and them about James Harden?
No, I saw him pick. I saw him pick the
gosh.
All Stars, and
Y'all
he
have-
was KD was being a jerk.
You have to Google and watch it. So, yes. So, KD is about as serious as it can be. I'm going to say a couple of things.
I don't like.
He's
him.
the best offensive player that we may have ever seen. He's also a jerk. It can be two things. Now, so he's basically the Barry Bonds of the NBA, which is however you want to take it. But he's 100% serious about basketball. So remember, Harden just forced his way out of Brooklyn, right? Well, they picked the reserves, the teams last night. Well, it got down to 2 picks, and it was Rudy Gobert and James Harden. And Durant picked Gobert and started talking about how he needed a big man inside. And LeBron couldn't stop laughing and holds the clipboard over his face. And Barkley, of course, he just digs in even deeper and he just starts poking fun. He is trying so hard to make Kevin Durant laugh, and Durant is doing his best just to be
Not to laugh.
I'm a jerk, and this is me. This is my dog face, and he finally gets him to laugh, and this is what he gets him to laugh on. He's trying to tell Durant. He said, "Kevin, you need a clipboard too, like LeBron." And then he asked LeBron, goes, "Is Harden even healthy enough to play in this game? I don't even know." And Barkley goes, "Oh, he healthy now." He said he just got traded. He in good shape now. And that's when Durant went. He got Durant to giggle on that one when he said, "Oh, he healthy now." So Harden forces his way to. This is his how many different team that he's had total? 5, 6. At some point, we got to put the blame on James Harden. And Tom, what has been his thing?
Fourth, yeah.
He likes to shoot a lot, and he likes to be the guard. And in Houston, he shot a lot. And then these guys don't realize that. And that's the thing. That's the one thing about Kevin Durant's career that I think has been the saddest or baddest thing about it, is that he hasn't played with people who make him better at all. He's played with He's played with people just to play, to be ballers with, just to go out there and play basketball with.
They should have got rid of Draymond and kept him in Golden State.
Right.
It should have been it. That should have been no question.
But they gave up Simmons, Curry, and Drummond.
Right.
Yeah, they
and a first round pick, I think.
Two
first round picks.
22 and 27. They fleeced them.
Yes.
In my opinion,
Yes.
they fleeced them.
Yes.
Even without. Wow. I even say even without Ben Simmons,
right?
They fleeced them.
So let's say he's playing with now. He's playing with Kyrie. He's playing with Seth Curry. None of these people set him up for scoring.
2 first round. He's right. But they also got Paul Millsap in the trade, Philadelphia.
So he when he played in Oklahoma City, he had 2 shoot first guards, Westbrook and Harden. Then he goes to Golden State and has the best 3-point shooter of all time, and maybe a top 5 with Klay Thompson. Then he goes to Brooklyn, and he's got to play with Kyrie and James Harden, 2 of the biggest ball hogs ever. So and then all that, Zach, is he not 3rd all-time leading scorer in average now?
I just can't believe, I read that Simmons has not even played this year.
Yeah, he refused. He's refused to play because he got his feelings hurt. So Durant is 4th right now, all-time leading scorer, 27.1 behind Elgin Baylor at 27.3. So without ever playing one time in his career with someone who facilitates and sets him up, he's still getting 27 a game. Adam, you got Drummond. I think that I love Kevin Durant's game. I don't like who he plays with. I just don't. I don't like Kyrie. I didn't like Durant. I mean, not Durant, but Harden. Maybe it changes now going forward. I don't think the Raptors got anything. Tom, you don't want to play them. If Boston gets through, I think y'all can beat them. Y'all definitely beat the Hornets if we accidentally get through. But being in 2 seed's pretty good. If you're in that 3, though, if you get back 3-4, it's going to be way tougher because then you'll have Philadelphia or Milwaukee or somebody to go through and maybe in the first round. So you want to try to keep up there in the 1-2 spot if you can. Don't know. I would say Miami's probably has been and been the favorite. DeRozan's been pretty good this year, though, for Chicago.
Yeah,
all right.
Pretty good is putting it lightly.
Right. He's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Any